I have been convinced. Well, I was already convinced, but now I'm even more convinced that the Ascent meta needs to change. And it needs to change to something like this. Nongshim's comp playing the Viper. Because the value that they get from this agent on this map is absolutely absurd. Let me explain. We've seen a lot of Ascent comps and a lot of them are struggling on this attack side. Well, Nongshim found themselves down 9-3 against DFM in a playoff game. And yet they're gonna win this game comfortably because their attack side with this Viper, and in particular with this little Viper wall going across A, is absolutely OP. Now you might say, oh, TMV, they're 9-3 down. That means that the defense side, sure, maybe they got a good attack side, but their defense side is bad. Well, no, it's just that Nongshim don't know what they're doing on the defense side, okay? They trolled that half of Valorant. They kept trying to fight everywhere all the time. It didn't make any sense. If you have a good defense side on Ascent, which a lot of teams will, then it's absolutely fine. And this is a way to give you a good attack side as well. And we're going to see the problems that this wall causes you, okay? Because DFM are going to try two different things in this round that a lot of teams will try. But against the specific comp that Nongshim are running, neither of them work.
I made a background one instead of a screensaver.
I've not used a screensaver in years. Well, it's going to be an attempted crunch outside of A main here, but it's too few many people here. So May will lose his life nice and early. That's going to be Nongshim with their leg in the door.
Oh, Nongshim generally set themselves up for a bit of a pop and go moment on the back of a drone going in from Francis. It's what they're angling towards at the current time.
Going over the top. Does he get the spot here on the close angle? It does not. So Sets is able to find one, but nothing more. RB quickly will just go ahead and push forward. Yeah, this is looking like all Nongshim all day long.
So what's behind door number one? It's aggro. It's go and try and kill them straight away. Just get ahead of the wall, stupid. Just do this. Just jump at them, run at them. Oh, you know what the problem is? Yeah, it doesn't work. And you know what the other problem with this is? You might think about it, right? How often do you see full, true aggro in A main from the defenders? Like, just think about that in your mind. Like, how, you know, we see a tiles crunch, you know, that's something that you've seen probably quite a lot on Ascent if you've watched a lot of Valorant. How often do you see the defenders just run out here in A main? Not very often, right? It's a pretty rare play to go for. You know why? Because an Omen can just TP into this cubby and straight away you have a crossfire, and it's very difficult then to, you know, try and go for that kind of play, right? And here we go. This is the thing. I put a Viper wall in your face as well. I mean, they don't even need it in this round, to be honest, but aggroing A main is just hard. So there's part one. Aggroing A main, difficult. Okay, what's the second thing that DFM tried to do? But that is a common way that people will try and beat this Viper wall, is aggro past it. But for a lot of comps, particularly default comps, it does not work. Second thing you do is do what Cess does here. Well, I'm going to play in this little bit, right? I'm going to play here behind this box because I can kill them as they're coming in. So I'm just going to play here behind the box. You know the problem with that as well? Well, they're playing Neon. Good luck. Good luck. Honestly, I wish you the best. I wish you the best. Dambi doesn't slide in this round, but in a lot of rounds, he will run in there and he'll slide. Good luck trying to kill a sliding Neon and the rest of his team running in this way. Good luck. I'll just wish you the best. I hope it goes well for you. It won't, but I wish you the best. Right? And even when he doesn't slide, the rest of the team is coming with him. Right? It's still going to take you a bit of time to kill him, and by that point, well, you're traded. And now, we're wrapping around different ways. Do you fight this way? Do you fight that way? I don't know. Round over. Round over. Right? And that's two different ways that teams are going to try and deal with this Nongshim wall, and it's two different ways that they're gonna fail. Okay, so what's behind door number 3 then, I hear you ask? Well, let's come to the bonus round for that one, because Nongshim are gonna convert this pretty easily as well. It's put your Sentinel utility there. Oh, just put all your Sentinel utility here. Oh, of course, that makes a lot of sense, right? You know the problem with putting all of your Sentinel utility there is, well, what happens if, we just go away and we destroy that Sentinel utility, but we don't path to where those nanoswarms are. And Dambi pass somewhere else instead. And we get the spike down. And we close the door. And now we're just in a 5v5 retake. Well, okay. We got the spike down. Cool. That's our whole... Like, this is... I'll take that. Now you have the retake against us. 5v5. Cool.
Broken down here, but the spike is now planted. You've got Ivy on the approach from top mid. Peeks in, finds Gian. Just tucks back around, and now they constantly have to be worried about that. For the push, but RB holding the door with the Stinger in hand, able to find himself a second kill as May does get taken down. Akame only able to find one. damn near flawless.
So that's doors 1, 2, and 3. They don't work. What about door number 4? Well, door number 4 is just, well, let's just play somewhat standard here over towards A and keep 3 people here and hope that if they go B, that these guys are kind of hitting their shots, right? Well, let's take a look at this round. The next full gun round, they come and do an A main default. Nice one-way, by the way. Why are you bothering to do this one-way? This is another thing that teams will commonly do against Nongshim still, is put up this one-way because they're so used to doing this one-way that they don't realize that it's completely useless. This one-way does nothing for you. They can just cycle up the wall for a brief moment, and they can walk past your one-way. So why even bother? I don't know. Good question. Nongshim in this round, they decide to, you know, threaten A main, come in here, you know, and this wall is going to be a problem for them. And then they're actually going to come back to B. Now, I do want to notice the time here, right? So they're getting towards B around 1:13, 1:12, right? By the time that they're grouping up here. I just want you to watch these 3 players on DFM here, right? So we're now droning into B main. They KO knife here out towards tree, right? We get a dart in B main. I'm not sure it sees anyone, but it does get destroyed there. And now they're going to go for this re-clear of mid. Right, you still got the Jet here watching over towards A. And now, Nongshim are just chilling. Right, so they flash out in mid. And Nongshim are just chilling. Watch these 3. Stare at this Viper setup. Right, so Wall and Orb are up now. They're just going to stare at it. I just want to note now, the time is like 37 seconds. Nongshim have been in just this part of the map for the better part of 40 seconds. Still got 3 people on A. You're still gonna get 3 people on A. Because as the time starts ticking down, we're down to 34. Eventually here, Nongshim are gonna do this B exec. Look at the map. Look at the map. These guys are not getting anywhere close to this round.
Dark clears 1. A bit of damage forward here on the Dombi as he tries to push up. As there's the Hunter's Fury, the drop down, and oh boy, this is completely turned around.
How easy was that? Now, yeah, I know you could say DFM need to be more proactive. You know, when they go for that mid re-clear, they need to be more brave, like blah, 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 all this stuff, right? Yeah, you can say that. But this is the thing. This Viper wall causes you massive problems. It causes you massive problems because if you can't get ahead of it, which they can't, and they don't trust someone to be close, you know, kind of on this side of the wall, which they don't, then every time that this wall goes up, you're always worried. And even if it's not the whole team, right? Even if it's just RB walking up here on his own, you can't let someone just do that, right? You can't let someone just walk all the way up on their own, and because then what if you just leave one guy on the site and he dies to RB, and then you just lose the round, right? So this is the problem that this wall fundamentally creates on Ascent. And the thing is as well with Nongshim is I'm sure in their scrims, they have seen every team try and come up with their own little ways of dealing with this Viper wall over and over and over again. And they generally start their halves by going A, you know, pistol round, bonus round, let's go A, right? Let's default A at the start of most of these rounds. Because then what it opens up later in the half is teams get so worried about it, they start just stacking because they don't have a good answer. And at that point, Nongshim are smart enough to realize, well, now we can just go B. Right, because we know that you're going to be so paranoid about this wall and you don't have any good answer against it, that it's just going to make this a completely free site, and we've got 3 rounds by going to B now as well.
Star signs.
We don't need to get into star signs. I went through that with Pilsky. All right, well, looking for a crunch here, but that's going to be a good amount of information gained for DFM. There is nothing and nobody really on this site to try to slow things down, other than the Nanos. Jimbung, having been past the operator, is going to try his hand at his one, but will be zoned away by the snake bite there in his face. Back from May, the lockdown. Waited out. Big reveal. They're around the back, and May flushed out of market. Immediately paranoia across towards this alley position. And now with a pit, just locking this one off. DFM are fully rerouted.
Yeah, it's the...
And again, that's the thing about this, right? That RB, sometimes he goes and puts his Viper Orb over towards A as a part of this, but he doesn't have to. Right? Again, once they're committed on these ideas, so normally he puts Viper Orb in somewhere like this, but he doesn't have to. Sometimes he'll mix up. Sometimes he'll put the Orb there as a potential cross towards mid. This time he's going to end up throwing it in market, but he has it potentially for CT as well, right? He's going to obviously Viper Spit, as we see. But they've got options there as well. And now it's like you're playing Retake against a Viper Spit. Well, that's horrible also. Right? That's not a good option either. It's all bad. They're all bad options. Right? But this is what this creates on Ascent. This is why Viper is so good. She fundamentally changes the map. Right? She takes a choke point and says it's not a choke point. Well, that's a massive advantage for the attackers. And it's a massive problem for the defenders if they can't get ahead of that Viper wall. Now, if you're asking me, are there any counters to this? Yeah, I think there are, right? Like playing Yoru, playing Chamber, things like that can get ahead of the wall and then TP out potentially. Yeah, that could be quite good. Look, they end up darting a door. They end up darting a door here. They're so lost, DFM. They end up saving again. Last round, they saved with 3 people. This round, they just saved with 4 people. They're just saving straight away. They've already lost the round before it's even begun. And yes, there probably are counters. And if everyone was playing it, you know, you would start to see some adaptations and stuff work. But for right now, why isn't more people? Why aren't they playing this comp? It's so good.